Hey, simplifiers. Happy Mother's Day. I've got a cat that wants to sit with me, I think. Are you going to sit in my lap, or are you just wishing I would feed you? You want to come sit with me? You want to say hi? Show everybody your bummed up nose. Your banged up. Look at this. This cat, his eye is messed up. He had the most horrible, I don't know who he's fighting with. He's running my cats off. I'm starting to get real irritated because this is the cat we didn't want, yet he's here. No offense, we love cats. I have taken in, not me, we have taken in so many cats. We have had so many vet bills. We are trying to scale back. And for 5 long years, I didn't take a cat in, and then we got Sunshine. Sunshine dropped into our lap. She was up a tree, right out here. She was up a tree. And I meant to sit where you're not looking at my trash can, because what could be uglier than that? Ah, my chair won't move. Hang on. Bear with me. I meant to move this. There, you can look into my lovely backyard. At least this house you're seeing is attractive. These people next to us are horrible. Those people are across the street over there. They're very nice. They have an adult autistic son, and it's bad, y'all. Sometimes he's out in the yard. It's bad. It's just, I feel for them. The police used to come over there and just not to be mean, just to try to help out, because they knew there was a struggle. There's a struggle that goes on there at not every day, but occasionally. It's just, I feel real bad for them. Anyway, happy Mother's Day. I've had a lovely day. I'm a pet mom. If you don't know, if you're new here, I'm a pet mom. I have my Just a Girl Who Loves Cows with my sugar-free drink in it. Okay, so I'm a pet mom, not a child mom, not a human mom. But anyway, I've had a really nice day. We went to, okay, Spencer used to teach Sunday school. Not sure what his deal is with Sunday school, but he doesn't really want to go anymore. And he's a very fine person, and he's a fine Christian, and I'm not going to push him to do anything. I mean, we're all adults here, right? We are all adults here. So I went to Sunday school on my own, and that's fine with me because I need to drive myself anyway, because I want to go to the gym. So what I do, since he doesn't go with me, what I do, and because then he'd be driving me, right? I go, if I feel like it, when I get up on Sundays, if I feel like it, I go to Sunday school. Y'all probably know I have some chronic pain issues. A lot of times the weekend is when it rears its ugly head. I will go all week, and on the weekend, the hammer comes down. So sometimes I just don't feel well, so I just make it to church. But anyway, I did make it to Sunday school this morning. So I was there, and then we were at church together. I love Arby's. I don't know what is my deal with Arby's, but I just love it. And they have this, if you ever go, they have this strawberry lemonade. So good. It just makes your entire meal. You could just go get that. So I get a combo, and then I say I want, instead of a regular drink, I want the strawberry lemonade. So I think it's a little bit more. I don't care. I think I ordered the wrong sandwich, and I saw on the packaging it said beef and cheddar, and I was like, I don't like beef and cheddar. So, and I thought, well, and I knew that wasn't what Spencer ordered. So I opened it, and I was like, oh. Okay, and then I started thinking, I don't think it was their mistake. I think it was my mistake. And Spencer's like, just go up there and tell them. I'm like, I took my wallet with me. I said, I'm just going to pay for another sandwich. I'm just going to pay for another sandwich. I don't care. I just don't care at this point. I just am not going to eat this sandwich. I'm going to get a different one. So he kept saying, just, I'm like, it's fine. I don't even care. I'm just going to pay. It's like $5. I'm just going to pay for a sandwich. So I went up there and told the guy. First, there was a person in front of me. Y'all, what is with people? It is completely out of control. The man who is keying this stuff in, he's not in control of what that computer's doing. I don't know if the prices up on their screen are wrong. I don't nickel and dime everything to that extent. Maybe I should, but I do not. The guy in front of me was nickel and diming things. He was like, why is tax so much? I was like, oh gosh, if you don't get out of my way. I'm a pet mom. This is Mother's Day. You're a man. Go eat your sandwich and shush. Okay? It went on. And then he's like, the guy showed him the ticket. He was going to show him how much the tax was. The guy's not in control of what the tax comes up, okay? I also believe, I told Spencer, I said, I think there's something weird about the taxes because, like hotel rooms are taxed at higher rates. I feel like the restaurants in that town are taxed, and it may not just be that town, it might also be other places. Maybe it's around Tennessee in general. I feel like the tax on restaurant food is always more. And I may be insane, but I know I'm always thinking in my head, okay, it's going to be this much, and that's never what it is. It's always more than that. So I just quit worrying about their machine's going to figure it out. Well, after the guy showed him the receipt, because he was showing him the tax, he goes, well, this rang up, I don't know, it was like 40 cents more, it says up there. I was like, oh. So you know what he said to the guy? He said, ringing up for the correct price. And I thought, I hope we don't have an uproar up here. I hope this is as bad as this uproar gets, because the guy said to him, I don't know how to do that. Like, here we go. Thankfully, the guy moved on. He moved on. But I do feel like the tax here on restaurant food is not, our taxes are super high here. We have no state income tax, which sounds wonderful. Doesn't that sound great? And then you talk to people, there are states, I think there are states that have no state income tax, maybe it's Texas, also no tax on food. So when you start telling people, oh, we got tax, our tax on food's not as high as tax on everything else, but our tax on food is, I think it's 6.25, maybe, might just be 6, on regular other items. So like if you go to Walmart, you're gonna have the food's gonna be taxed at one number, everything else is 9.75. No, wait, or is it 9.25? I think it's 9.25. I've raised it to, it's close to 10%. Okay, we're getting taxed a lot. So we don't have state income tax, which sounds wonderful, and I'm sure it is, but we get taxed on absolutely everything else. And I really believe, I feel like I should just Google it, but I feel like our restaurant tax is higher than 9.25, which is already ridiculous. Okay. So, and that's what the guy said. The guy's like, it's around 10%, so it should be this much. And I was like, it's too bad this guy can do math in his head. This is getting very complicated. I just want him to go sit down so I can get my sandwich. So anyway, he finally shut up and moved on. Thank goodness. I'm glad he didn't start screaming. So we live in the South. There's white people and there's black people. The guy who was causing the problem was a white person. The guy who can't solve the problem because he's not the manager was a black person. And I thought, I hope this doesn't dissolve into something worse than what's already happening here. Anyway, he moved on, thank the Lord. And Spencer said, I wondered what was taking so long. Because we were up there doing math. That's why. I was like, get out of the way. Get out of my way. I just want a sandwich. So anyway, I told the guy what happened. I said, I'm fairly certain I ordered the wrong sandwich. And he goes, oh. So I said, I just want to pay for a sandwich. Just charge me for a sandwich. He goes, oh, well, which one did you want? And I told him, he just handed it to me. And I was like, you were so sweet. I did not expect that at all. I mean, clearly it was my fault. Because I remembered saying 1 and it's combination 2. I don't get 1, I get 2. So combination 2, it's very confusing because it's classic, double, and a pound. I don't know. It's more meat as you go down. It's more meat and more cost. So anyway, it's become more complicated than ever over there at Arby's, and I think I just picked the wrong number. So anyway, my fault. Anyway, I hope the ants don't crawl on this. I don't think they will because they don't like what I've noticed about the ants are all over the place. They don't like the sugar-free. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of come on here and just say hi on a Mother's Day. This will be posted later than usual for me because I usually try to post at 4 or 4:30. It's already almost 4:30 because I got home kind of late. So then after the restaurant, I went to the gym. Spencer came home and I had my gym time. Y'all will be proud of me. I have, because of my back pain, I am realizing I have to go back to doing cardio. I need to do cardio and weights to balance out the back pain. It both help it. And so I am Some days I'm doing elliptical. Then we have these rowing machines. We had 3. Half the time you were lucky if one worked. Then they got rid of one. One of those isn't working correctly. It's working, but not right. The other one, the foot strap broke. So I didn't think that was going to work, but it was working correctly, minus the foot strap. Turns out I can use it with the foot strap being broken. And by the way, it's always broken. Apparently, I'm guessing, I'm going to blame it on men. I think men get on there and they're too rough. It just has a foot strap and it's adjustable. I don't know if they don't know what they're doing or what, or if it's just, maybe it's just a bad strap and they keep trying to fix it. I don't know. Anyway, it's broken again. But I figured out I can use it. My foot doesn't move. I actually don't even need either of the foot straps. So that's the good news. I don't actually need the foot straps. That's great because it's always broken. So I can use that one, and hopefully that one will continue to work, which, you know, because I love the rowing machine. I've done the rowing machine for years. The elliptical, I kind of have a love-hate thing with. Sometimes I just don't want to do it. So I haven't been doing it that much, but now I'm back on it. And then I didn't do it today because I just was like, I'm done. Because I did weights first. Because a lot of times I just do cardio and then I leave. Because I feel like the cardio right now, I'm needing the cardio for my back. Although I think I need them both because I mostly did cardio this week. So now there's great news here. So you know I'm in Jackson all the time, which doesn't give me a lot of gym time. However, I'm paying extra. I did this on purpose because this is a local gym. It's very inexpensive. It's $15 a month. I'm paying $25 a month so I can go to every location they have. They have 2 in my dad's town, which is interesting because mostly this is just right around here, right around Memphis area and surrounding, which there's a lot of not a lot of counties, but there's a lot of there's one in my county. I don't live in the same county as Memphis. There's one in my area, but it's that town where the recycling, I always tell you, there's the recycling's there. There's nothing else for me there. There's one in my county. I don't go to that one. It's very small. Our gym in Collierville, huge. As far as I know, it's the nicest one. So anyway, my dad's town has 2 of them. One is very close to his house, which is A+. Chef's kiss. This week, so if I have groceries and stuff that needs to stay cold, I can't, ice cream. He loves ice cream. So if I'm gonna have ice cream, I can't go to the one close to his house because I gotta get the ice cream further from his house. It's more into town, and then he lives further out. So this week, one day I went to the one close to his house. The next time I had to go get some ice cream for him. So I went to the one that's right inside. When I get to town, it's right there, and I'd never been before. So that one was nice. I liked it. They're all about the same. Most of them are very, very small and more cramped. You kind of feel like the machines are more crammed in there. And the one I go to is not like that. It's wide open spaces. It's great. It's so great. It's like A+. These others are kind of like, B-. But it's a gym. Look, it doesn't matter. It's a gym. And I'm paying to go to all of them. So Monday, I went to the one in Jackson, which is where my dad is. Tuesday, I went to the one here. Wednesday, I was in Jackson again to clean for the other ladies in Jackson, you know, because I have this terrible luck. I got to drive to Jackson nonstop. It's just annoying. So I did that. It was supposed to rain and storm, and I think ended up nothing really happened. So I could have gone that day, at least even just for 20 minutes, it would have helped. I did run into some rain, but it wasn't that bad. I just hate driving in the rain, and I saw that coming. I was like, oh no, I'm getting in the car. I'm getting in the car right now. And it's hard to tell from the radar. Sometimes it looks like it's really bad, and then you get there and it's not that bad. So, or you get through it, you know, you're going through it. So it wasn't that bad. So anyway, Thursday. Okay, so I didn't go Wednesday. So I went 4 days this week plus today. Then I guess this would be the new week. Really, I guess 5 days because I went Sunday. I think I went last Sunday. So I think I went Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, not Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday I went back to the one. I went to the one further from Dad's. That's right inside the town. Right when I get there, there's one. A little bit out of the way, but it's not that far. So there's a little bit extra driving. Anyway, which is great with the gas prices. Yay, A+. Like, the last thing I want to do is any more driving. Anyway, it's fine. It's not that far. It's probably not even 5 miles out of the way. Anyway, so yeah, I've been going a lot, and I've just, when I go to those in Jackson, I'm right now anyway, I'm just doing cardio. Today I did both. So I started with the weights. There's a guy there that goes to my gym. I love him to death, but he's a big talker, and I'm a big talker. And so he wasn't there, so I was like, okay, because last time, I think it was last Sunday, he showed up, and I was like, dang it, I was gonna do some weights, but now I just didn't want to, I didn't have time. I had to grocery shop too, I just didn't have time. So anyway, I started with the weights on the off chance that he was gonna show up. I never saw him. And I had time to talk to him today, but what I would like, because he's just such a big talker and he just talk. What I would like is to get on cardio with him and let him talk while we're on cardio. But he's not a big cardio person, he's more weights. So we ended up some days I just end up not doing anything because he's talking. And I'm like, I'm only got a few minutes, I gotta go to the doctor. You know, I gotta leave. Because I'm just in there for a few minutes, have a doctor appointment, I gotta go. So that's been a problem. So anyway, he wasn't there. There was nobody there to talk to, which was great because I didn't want to talk to anybody. I wanted to just get it done and come home and talk to y'all. So what I want to do is I want to do more of these on holidays or like, days like this, because I feel like, I know for me, I don't have that much family. So, I don't have a mom, and I'm not a mom. I'm a pet mom. So, I just had this is just my normal day, my normal Sunday. This is pretty much it. Normally I would go to the grocery store, but I didn't have to do that. Hallelujah. Because you know why? Because we're not dealing with the kids anymore. I don't have that class anymore, that Bible study class. So Thursday, I had time to do all my shopping. Anyway, that has ended for the summer, and then I told them I would not be back. Now, this is terrible. One of the ladies that I was wondering why she wasn't coming back, she's been having some health problems. The minute we finish Bible study, she finds out she has cancer, and I'm guessing it's close to her esophagus, so I'm guessing it's esophageal. That's what I'm thinking. It has already metastasized in several places, including her spine. Her husband just died suddenly. I'm just like, what more could happen to this woman? How horrifying. The good news is I asked the lady who's in charge of the children, because she knows her. She worked very closely with her name. This lady's name's Amy, the one who's sick. She worked very closely with Amy, and she said that, I said, before we found out it was cancer, I said, does she have a decent family member who's going to take care of her? Because I feel like there's so many people who just they either don't have anybody, or they only have one child that cares, that will do anything. I can't tell you how many people I talk to like that. It's just mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I know some Catholic families, around here anyway, Catholic families tend to have more children. All the children pitch in, and it's very even. So they have lots of children, and everybody pitches in. I like that. I think we can pitch in. So anyway, she said yes, she and her son are real close. I was like, well, thank the Lord. Then we found out it was cancer, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm not sure why, but she's in the hospital where my dad lives, which is not, with us living here, she lives in I think she lives in Oakland, which is like 30 minutes from here. If you live here, you should go to Memphis to the hospital. Although I don't think the hospitals here are great. I think that the hospital system is just broken around here. I'm sure there's good somewhere, but here, no. But I would not have gone to Jackson. Of course, she thought she just had a hiatal hernia. But when she told me, she said that first, and then maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, she was just saying to the group as a whole, the teachers as a whole, yeah, I'm not keeping any food down. I've lost 35 pounds. And I was like, that does not sound like a hiatal hernia to me. That sounds bad. So what I was hoping was it was a blockage, because Mom had a blockage. Hers was the other direction. It wasn't coming up this way. It was the other way. She was like diarrhea. Couldn't stay out of the bathroom. And she went to the hospital, and they didn't, this same hospital in Jackson. Didn't find it the first time. Oh, you're fine. Send her home. Y'all, I have no patience. I just have no patience. with hospitals. It can't seem to do any, like, what is the point? The urgent cares can't seem to do anything, and the hospitals can't. Where are you supposed to go? You can't get in to see your doctor. The nurse practitioners, used to you could see the nurse practitioner at the least. Now they're full. If you know of a decent one, they're full. Well, now what do? The urgent cares don't do anything. No, when I took my dad to urgent care, they did actually do something useful. But you go to the hospital and they're like, oh, you're fine. Let's just send you on home. A woman who's almost 90 with diarrhea, let's just send her on home? No. Something's causing it. Well, she had a blockage. And it was not cancer. But they had to go in and do surgery, I'm fairly certain. My mind is fuzzy on it, but I'm sure they did some sort of surgery. And then they told her she needed to, now this is the way parents go, this is just, but probably people in general, but told her she needed to be taking something that was something like Prevacid, that might not have been it, but something for reflux. Yeah, I don't want to take that. You had a blockage? And you had constant diarrhea. You went to the hospital. I think she may have gone 3 times before she ever got to the problem. You've been in the hospital at least 2 times, 2 or 3 times. He wants you to take something for reflux and you're just not going to take it. Is that how that's? This is the kind of stuff that blows my mind. And I don't love medication. But if you've had a blockage and you've been this sick, take the medicine. Just take the medicine. Anyway, she didn't live long enough for anything else to happen with that, so whatever. Her problem, that was not her problem when she passed on. It was more of a kidney issue. But anyway, I just, like I said, because I don't have a lot of family ties at this point, I just thought I would start coming on some of the holidays. I know on Memorial Day, maybe I can post something for that day, but I can't come on that day because we're going to take my dad to his farm. And it's going to be a long day. But I told him, because we got to drive all the way to Dad's. Then we got to pick Dad up. Then we got to drive him a couple more hours to the farm. So it's like 3 hours, at least 3 hours total of us driving, not him, but of us doing so much driving. And then back home. That's kind of a long day in the car. I know people do it. I'm not saying we couldn't do it. I'm just saying it's a long day. And then, of course, we'll get to the farm. I'll be the one that has to clean up everything, of course. And then, because there's always dead bugs. There's like 5 million, I don't know, the ladybugs. It's the Japanese beetles, but they look like ladybugs. They love that farmhouse. They just love it. And we have somebody spraying, and I swear I feel like it's making it worse. So 5 billion dead bugs is what I'll go over there to vacuum. Yay! So we'll have that fun. And then, so like if Spencer and I were going by ourselves, we would stop at a restaurant. We like to stop at Jack's. No, Dad doesn't want to stop at Jack's. He wants to take his lunch. We'd rather stop at Jack's. So it's like, okay, so we're going to take our lunch. Okay. Although I can think that would make it quicker. If we go to a restaurant, we'll probably be sitting there even longer. So anyway, it probably is better because it takes him a while to eat, and then I can just go vacuum and just be done. And then we have his cousin lives, I think it's his first cousin, lives right across the highway. And so I'm hoping, I need to message her now and see if they're going to be around that day. Because I've already told him we're going. He's like, yay! He's very happy. So the other thing going on with Dad, my dad's not a big complainer, but he has a way of making me feel like I can never make a correct decision. And I know he's not doing it on purpose, but this is how I internalize everything. It's my fault. Everything that happens is my fault. This is how I feel. I'm not saying that's what he means to do. This is how I feel. Especially when I've worked myself to death to get to this point of where we are and you're still not happy. So he's not a big complainer, but he really wants to take a tub bath. Real bad. Well, he's bad enough that he really can't get in and out of the tub. At all. If he can get out, it's not safe. So he's been stuck in there twice and had to have EMS. Once he was stuck in there with me. He's only getting in there when I'm there. So if he gets stuck, I'm supposed to be able to help him. And I'm like, I can't. Sorry, Dad, I cannot throw my back out. My back's already bad. I can't. He's for somebody who can't get out of the tub, he's very strong. And he would just like literally drag me into the tub with him. He's that strong. But he can't get out of the tub. Somebody explain this to me. He would kill me, but he can't get out of the tub. It's weird. So the OT lady a few months ago said, oh, everything is so simple. The way they describe these things, so easy, y'all. Just get a lift. And you just go on Amazon. You just get a lift. It lifts you right out of the tub. It's all so simple. It's so simple, y'all. Well, Spencer and I looked at, I had her, because they just say that they throw this stuff out to him. Oh, let me just show you. They got this lift. It sounds so simple. Well, I think I gave Dad my phone number. I said, have her text me the link she's looking at, because she said the reviews are wonderful. The reviews were 4 stars. If your dad's 94 and he can't get out of the tub, do you want something with 4 stars, or do you want something a tad bit higher? I want something closer to 5. I'm just saying. And then we saw, you never know. You never know about these reviews. Maybe somebody's just being hateful. You don't know. But we saw a few too many saying, worked great. Then it pooped out on me almost, like 3 days in. And I'm like, we're not going to pay $350 for something that's going to poop out 3 days in. You see what I'm saying? That's a no. And then it was like you had to pay to. It's from Amazon, so you think you're going to ship it free. No, you had to pay. And people didn't realize, and they were going to have to pay about $80. Well, suddenly something that was $350, $400, whatever it was, I don't remember. Now you've tacked another $80 on. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for something that's not working. Now you don't even have it anymore. Not working. So we looked at the reviews and we were like, 4 stars, and people are complaining about having to send it back and pay a fee. We're not loving it. I'm pretty sure we looked at more than one. It seemed like it was the same thing over and over. So we were like, I don't think so. Well, there's this place in Jackson called Handicap of Jackson. And I kept passing by it. And then I looked it up and I read the reviews. There were some stinker reviews on there. And it's funny, the guy must be pretty blunt, because he got on there and answered them. Somebody was, I forget what they said, but they went on and on that, it was the review, the 1 star, 0 star, whatever review was this long, horrible review. And the guy said, so the guy answers back, well, first of all, your husband called me cursing at me. That was the first thing. And I was like, oh, okay. So this person was just obnoxious. That's why things didn't go well. So I went over there. I had 3 different people help. They were so helpful. I had 3 different people helping me. Now, 2 of them, one knew nothing about the lift, so he got someone to help him. That guy was a little iffy on it, so they found somebody who knew all about it. That's why there were 3 people. Well, dummy me didn't ask if they could just deliver this thing and set it up, because I know nothing. And I said to them, I don't know if I can lift this because of my back. And they didn't say, well, we could have somebody bring it out there. They didn't say that. However, they can, but I didn't ask. So in my world, there's always a problem. I'm just going to tell you up front. I kept thinking this something's going to go wrong, or I'm not going to be able to get it in the house because of my back, or just whatever. I got it into the house. I cleaned the tub real quick because I think he had been in it since I cleaned it, so it needed to be cleaned. And then I put the lift in there. There is a metal rod that is supposed to be, the way this thing, it sits like a chair kind of, and it can tilt back. So it's like, you're sitting here, then it tilts back this way, just like a chair, and you're going up and you're going down. It's pretty cool. For somebody who's disabled, I gotta say, if you're disabled and you really want to take a tub bath, is it perfect? No. Is it better than never getting in the tub again? Yes. Yes. And I wish Dad could focus on this. So anyway, it sits up like this, and then it will lean probably about to here. So I was getting the thing set up. There is a metal rod behind it, and the rod is supposed to come out kind of, I don't know if it's this way, but anyway, it's supposed to come out, and it's this thing that's supposed to lock into. It had gotten stuck underneath the lift part. Not even kidding. It was stuck underneath this thing. And I went up and I went down. And I hurt my back trying to figure out how to get this rod, because I was like, I don't know how the rod got under here, but if it got under, it's got to be able to come out somehow, right? For it to go under there, there's got to be a way out. I couldn't get that thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I've already torn this stupid thing up. It was ended up being, it was more, of course, and he brought this up. Why is it so much more than Amazon? They'll repair it for us. That's why that may be why it's so much more. I don't know. I said, well, I hope it's a better brand. My hope is it's a better brand than whatever we were looking at over there on the Amazon where they have 500 and we don't know which one to pick, okay? I'm hoping it's better. Also, these people will fix it. Finally, I realized lowering and uppering was not fixing this problem, so I called back over there. Oh, also, the instructions that came with this were useless. I just want to say that. Useless. Not their fault, the company's fault. Useless. So, especially to me, because I don't know what I'm doing. So, call over there. They couldn't be nicer. Well, we have a guy. We can send him out there now. I about died because he said he'll be there between 2 and 6. And I was like, 2 and 6? I leave here at 4. You know what I mean? Nothing ever. I swear, nothing ever goes right. Boo's here. Boo-boo. Boo-boo. Come say hi. Okay, this is going long. Anyway, the guy comes out. It took him a while, and they told me on the phone, if you'll just lift it up and lower it, I can't remember, it'll come out. And I was like, I've tried that. So he said, try it one more time. Okay, I will try it one more time while I'm on the phone with you, but I'm here to tell you, Adrian Boo, I'm here to tell you it's not gonna, I can already tell it's not coming out of there. The technician is used to dealing with this. He says, this is not the first time I've seen this. He had trouble. Now, it didn't take him, it probably took him 3 or 4 minutes to get it out, but there was a lot of raising and lowering while he was prying that sucker out of there. So I didn't feel bad at that point, because it wasn't like, oh, raise it, lower it, poof, it came out. Nope, that's not how that worked. And he was like, oh, that's really in there, isn't it? I was like, yes. I don't know how it happened. I said, I think it was operator error. I don't know how in the world it got in there, but obviously I did something wrong when I opened this thing, because they had shut it so it was kind of, it's large, but it was kind of flat, so I could carry it in, you know, so it wasn't like up like this. So the part where you lean back was down. Well, then I think when I raised it, I think that's when the pole got stuck. I don't know, it was just weird. I think maybe I raised it wrong. After I looked at the few directions they had, I was like, I think I know what I did wrong here. I should have read this first before I opened anything or touched anything. So that's just the way my life goes. Well, last night when Dad called, or maybe it was Friday night, or maybe it was probably both nights, I got to hear a litany of complaints. Well, I can barely get wet. I said, well, you're just gonna have to run more water, because it's a lift. So even all the way down, you're still sitting up about this, probably at least this high, maybe this high. So yeah, you're gonna have to run several inches of water to cover yourself. But the other thing is, your legs are up like this. And we had talked to him about this, but I think he had forgotten about it. And then he was so adamant he wanted a tub bath. I was like, well, your legs are going to be up in your chest. I didn't even say that. I think I'd forgotten about that. So he complained about that the first day. Then yesterday it was, well, I couldn't even really get wet. Well, here's what he wants. I feel like a normal person, you know how the tub some of them come forward, you can't lean back like a normal human, but the ones that he has and the ones I grew up with, the ones we have, you can lay back a little bit, or you can maybe get a little pillow and be more comfortable. Okay, so the rest of us would just lay like this with our legs straight out, and obviously you can't do that because your legs are going to be up like this because of it's taking up so much room in your tub because it's a lift, okay? Common sense tells us it's taking up room. If we just think about this for a minute, you're also sitting up higher, so your boo honey's not on the ground, but he wanted his boo honey in the water. Well, if you run enough water, your boo honey will be in the water. I'm just saying, just keep running it. Keep running the water, Dad. Just keep running it. He's complaining because I think he wants his back. I think he wants to be down like this in the tub, because so all the water can come over him this way. Well, here's the thing, Dad. Have you ever thought about, I'm just gonna ask the question. You get the wash rag, you get it nice and wet, you put some soap on, and then you just rub the water over you. So like, I understand what he wants, but when you can't physically get in and out of the tub and you need a help system to get you in and out of the tub, this is all we have to deal with. You can either never get in the tub again, or you can do it this way. So I said, well, then I feel like it's my fault. Why is this my fault? I don't know. It really isn't. I'm doing everything I know to do. I don't know what else to do. He's the one that brought the stupid lift up to me. I had never heard of it. I knew nothing about it. One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over to that place, and I want them to show me all the little helps for disabled people that are in that building. Because I feel like there's other things we could be helping him with that we don't know about. Because I didn't know about this tub lift. And it's very cool. It is so cool. I feel like all of us, if we couldn't get out and out of the tub, we would be like, you know what? We're going to make do. Our legs are going to be up like this. It's not the best. I get it. But is in the tub. You know what I mean? And if you'll run enough water, a lot of you will be in the tub. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I feel like everything I do is like this. That has to do with him. Not everything in my life. Just everything having to do with him is just like this. We asked for him to get a wheelchair when he was at the rehab. The rehab says he's not going to qualify for that. And I thought, this man can barely walk. Who does qualify for that? Well, guess what? She was wrong. He qualified for it. Well, that did not work because they have thresholds, and he's not strong enough to get over the thresholds with the wheelchair. So now he didn't have to pay. He's not out of any money. Thankfully, he didn't pay for that. But that's my fault. I feel like I don't feel like it's my fault, but that's what we asked for, thinking it would help him. Then we get it there and we find out it's not going to help him. There's nothing about that helps him. It's super unfortunate, but it's not helping him. So anyway, this has gone super long. I'm going to let y'all go, but I just wanted to touch base with you on Mother's Day. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're a mom, or you wanted to be a mom, or you're a pet mom, or you're none of the above and you're just sitting out here having a relaxing time, drinking a little sugar-free something with me, I hope that you've had a wonderful Sunday. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.